Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another Factorio episode. So, in the last episode I was saying that I want to get the ingredients for the rocket ready, and that's actually the first thing that I want to do right now. And well, in order to do that, I am going to sacrifice most of our steel throughput and get 1000 steel put aside for our personal use here. That is one thing. The next thing is that we want to start producing 1000 concrete. And well, this is gonna be quite easy. I thought about it for a while, and the easiest way to produce 1000 concrete, so it's 1 iron ore to 10 concrete. 1000 concrete means 100 iron ore. And we can basically just build this extremely easily. We also need 5, so that is 500 stone bricks. Let's see when we get to 500. That's 4, and that's 500. And all we need to do now is go to a place where we have access to water. And, well, let's build an offshore pump. Let's not take the cheesy way out and reuse the offshore pump that we have for our power production. Let's go ahead and place this down, and I will place 2 assembling machines here. Like this. They will have the goal of building concrete. And a water pipe running through here. 2 chests. One to act as input for that, and the other one to be output. And this should deliver exactly the amount of concrete that we need to support our base. Now, I will give a bit of boost to our base, and well, the iron train will have to wait for a bit, I guess. But I did have a slight change of heart in the last episode. And we are actually gonna do something about our power issue first. Because right now we are suffering quite heavily because our lack of power. I will check that I haven't left any part of my base completely without power in just a second. Well, and now that I've said that, I've realized that I actually did leave almost my entire bottom part of the base without power, so good thing I checked. Let's get that too. And basically this whole stack here now serves no purpose. So let's get rid of it. We can do a bit of cleanup. Don't need to do too much. but I do want to have some semblance of steel smelting happening, even though we're still using our entire coal supply for power production. So as I was saying, we're gonna go nuclear. And now, in saying that, I've realized that we haven't actually researched nuclear science, and I will DQ that in favor of researching what we need for nuclear power production. We were extremely close to having the rocket, but I don't think we're nearly close enough to having the resources to build anything. So, first thing is first. After all, this is the main boss, and well, we want to branch off of it. So I did decide to do this because we had a pretty nice opportunity with the fact that we have uranium right in our base. And we don't need a large amount of uranium for what our base currently consumes. We'll actually need just a little over a fraction of what we can produce here. It's not a huge patch by any means, but I think this will do just fine. Fully mining this. This is gonna give us how many miners? 23. Plenty. So the way we're gonna do this is, in order, unlike all resources, you can actually see that on the miners we now have arrows, because mining uranium ore requires sulfuric acid. So that is a thing, but that's why we've dragged the sulfur pipe. And I think that the whole process of manufacturing the required ingredients for getting nuclear power up and running is quite interesting. So let's go into that for a bit. So we have access to a new technology we've just researched. This. So this is uranium processing. So we have unlocked centrifuge and we have uranium processing, which we see this is quite a unique recipe in Factorio. We have a 0.7% chance of getting a uranium 235 from 10 uranium ore, and a 99.3% chance of getting a uranium 238. And we can see here that in order to build uranium fuel cells, we'll need 1 uranium 235 and 19 238s. So the ratio is obviously not good in favor of the 235, but there are some technologies that will make that ratio a bit better. So the problem that we'll be facing right now is that we barely have, well, we have no red chips. This is barely enough to make 2 factories. Let's at least gather 4. Do I have 4 factories on this belt? Barely. Now I will want to make more than these. So output will actually go to this chest for now, and I will want to get, so this is 200, let's get a thousand red chips. And also, oh, our ratios here are gonna be totally off. We want to produce, let's say maybe 1,000 more. Yeah, let's say 1,000 more. I need to check a recipe first. Does this require concrete? Yeah, this requires concrete as well. So we will need 2 reactors to start with. So these 2 reactors are 1,000 concrete to begin with. And then we will want to build at least 8 of those machines. Let's say 10. So I need 1,000 bricks. Might have gone a bit overboard with this. And for 1,000 bricks I need... this is a bit of a problem. So let's go ahead and dump everything down to 1,000 bricks. I will leave some of the things that I do not want in this chest. Like, I definitely do not want that much wood on me. I still have a fair amount, I would say. So let's go here. I want 500. So that is, again, needs to fill up to here. That's good. Now I accidentally set too many. I want to add just one of them in here. Let's go ahead, let's give all of these resources here. I can take, this is 700. It will be a while until we have enough red chips to build all of these. And we actually are running low on here, and we also need steel plate. 500 steel plate, that's how much we need for 10. And how many gears do we need? 100. So for 10 we need, that's 900, and that's 1000. So we have 4 of these now. Let's see if we got any more red chips. We actually have a decent supply. What are we missing? We are still missing 300 concrete. I don't think we got 100 more. This will be 100 more actually. So let's place down the 8 centrifuges that we have so far. And I will produce this right over here. And nuclear power is actually extremely water thirsty, so we will be placing the nuclear power plant most likely somewhere here, out of reach of anything. So let's go ahead and we have let's create a blueprint first. So 2 inserters are more than enough. I'm gonna do it like this. And we're gonna have belt coming all the way through here. And we said we want 10 of these. That's 12. Let's cut out those. We still have 2 that we have nothing, that we cannot do anything about. Who knows, maybe in the future we'll actually expand this. Actually get everything over here. So this lane will have two resources on it. One is U238 and one is 235. And this is actually gonna filter one of them. And we'll create, let's see how much can a power pole like this cover. Yeah, that's good. And I want to have plenty of buffer for the 238. And well, the hope is gonna be that we're gonna get a 235 some point soon. But we can now build, I think now we have the recipes required for nuclear reactors and for heat exchangers. So for it, we are gonna need a ton of copper. And when I say a ton of copper, I almost mean a literal ton of copper. This is something that's extremely copper intensive, and for that reason we're actually gonna buffer copper in these chests with fast inserters. So that's gonna put quite a bit of a strain on our belt, but we need them. And I'm gonna unbuffer. I'm gonna increase the size of these chests to way more gears, and also increase the size of this chest to way more pipes. So next thing is we want to look at ratios. Eventually we might want to get a bit more out of our power plants, but for now running 2 nuclear reactors is plenty, I think. I'm actually not gonna commit to any new researches. Let me see if there's anything that we really need. Actually, we do want the CoverX enrichment process, which is somewhat redshift intensive because of the purple science, but it's not that bad. I might want to get the level 3 assembly machines, but other than that, I think the trains running faster might actually be good, but we're not gonna do that right now. And as I was saying about nuclear power, a nuclear reactor consumes or produces 40 megawatts of power. But you also see neighbor bonus of 100%. And what does that mean? That means that for every adjacent running nuclear power plant, it produces double the amount. So if we have 2 power plants, one adjacent to each other, both working, they're gonna produce, instead of 80 megawatts, they're gonna double both of their production because the bonuses are applied one to each other. So it is gonna produce 160 megawatts of, and this is the very important part, clean power, which means that our coal consumption is gonna go down to almost 0. And that's why I wanted to build nuclear power. So in order to do that, the process is fairly simple. We get nuclear reactors. Let me get a clean hotbar here, and I will get all the ghosts. So I'm not gonna craft anything right now, but I will place down the ghosts, and I will go out a bit further. Eventually might extend to this, to 4 nuclear reactors. Now, the problem is that we need to somehow get fuel into these reactors. So if we cannot have something like this, because the inner reactor will not be able to be automated. We'll need to hand deliver fuel, and we do not want that. Generally, what I do is build in lumps of in packs of 4, which produces a whooping 400 and either 60 or 80. I do not remember right now megawatts of power. And theoretically, we could build horizontally, but that creates a very long blueprint because we need to fit everything in the tile of this this reactor or these 2 reactors. So we're gonna not plan ahead too much right now, but let's look at the recipes. And I'm gonna do this kind of live with you here because I haven't done the math for this in a long time. So I really hope I do not mess anything up. Now, this will produce 4. We already said that 2 of these will produce 160 megawatts of power because they're gonna get 100% bonus. They're gonna be 2 of them. So together, they'll produce 80 megawatts. So it's 160. Now, this follows kind of the same principle that we have for our burner coal-powered power plants. And basically, this produces the heat. Here we have a heat exchanger which converts the heat into steam at a much higher temperature. And then we use the steam in a steam turbine. Now, the heat exchanger will actually be able to consume 10 megawatts of power, so we will need 16 heat exchangers. And this is how we take the heat, and I really did not want to do that. This is how we take the heat and distribute the heat all around. So basically this will produce 80 and this will produce 80 megawatts of power, so we want 8 heat exchangers per side. Now there's a couple of ways of setting this up, but I will go with this approach. So it's 4 and 4 and a line of heat pipe going through the middle, and then we will have, again, it would be extremely nice if we can somehow have robots that do not automatically place blueprints. So this will be our water intake. The heat exchanger will consume 103 fluid per second. So 8 of these will consume 800, which should be plenty. Our pump should be able to deliver that, no questions about it. And now the weird part is the steam turbine, where the steam turbine generates 5.82 megawatts, which is an extremely weird number, but well, that's the number that they went with. And I'm actually gonna use a calculator here because I'm not gonna divide 80 by 5.82 in my head, but that's 13 point something. So putting down 14 steam turbines should be plenty. So let's see how many fit in here. So that's 4. That is 8. So this is already way too much. I'm actually gonna stay to just 14. I want to be as close to the correct ratio as possible, because if we're not at the correct ratio, what's gonna happen is the power production is gonna tell us that we're able to produce way more power, uh, and that is because we have theoretically the steam engines, but we won't actually be able to generate that power because we won't have enough steam. I'm gonna connect this on both sides so that everything is shared. And this is gonna be the water supply. We're gonna shift G, which is gonna move everything. I'm gonna flip the blueprint, and I am going to move this as close to the lake as I possibly can get away with. Let's not do that close. I'm gonna keep a bit of a distance still. I will let the bots place whatever they can. So for this we'll only need 2 offshore pumps. Let's see, one here, and let's actually connect this. And the other one goes, I guess, there. So theoretically now our heat exchangers will be supplied with water. So we need a total of 16 heat exchangers, 28 steam turbines, and 34 pipe. And obviously we are gonna need 2 nuclear reactors. We actually do have enough for the nuclear reactors. What else do we need? For nuclear reactors we need 500 advanced circuits each. So that's gonna be quite a bit. I think we need to take all of that. 500 steel and 500 copper plates. Yeah, so we have run out of space. Let me get rid of some of the things that, well, are obviously not junk, but are not needed right at this very moment. So I need one more stack of that. What are we missing? We're missing copper plates. Luckily, we are stealing a lot of copper plates here. And we have plenty of supplies, so that is done. Now, there's gonna be a big problem with steel, which I totally forgot about. We're gonna need quite a bit of steel as well, and we've just used our entire steel supply. But we are going to need should be 28, yeah, 28 steam engines. Where? That is fortunately close by. We can react to this quite fast. Hope that they don't destroy anything important. But this is probably another expansion base. Yeah, this looks like an expansion base. Do I have my car with me? Do I know where they are coming from? Let's see, where is the... yeah, there it is. Do I have any sort of fuel here? I do not have any sort of fuel with me. No, I do have plenty of coal. Sorry. Let's go ahead and take care of that expansion base. Should be at best one or two. Not too many biters. This should be doable. Just in case I had a fish prepared. But no fish was needed and we can get back to our base. Now I could have put this off for a bit, but I did want to let my steel supply buffer for a bit. And sort of victory. We have 4 there. Now, the plan was always to put that in a chest, not just leave it hanging on the belt, but that plan has failed, it seems. So we need 28 steam turbines. 28 steam turbines means 1,400 copper plates. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,400 years. So that's 1,000 and that is 500. We'll take it. And we need just a bit below 600 pipes. That's the word I'm looking for. And we can craft exactly 28 because we have dimensioned our copper plate well. Now, heat exchangers, I think I said 16 of these. 16 means uh, 16,000 copper plates, and we don't need that much steel, I guess. So let's go and ahead and take 1,600 of these. Let's not take any spare change there. And for 16 we just need 160 steel. Now it is quite a lot, but it's not something that we're gonna never recover from. I'm gonna take a bit more pipe. Oh, come on. Surely we can have a bit of mercy and upgrade these machines. Finally. I haven't realized that they were still that low level. So we have 11 building, 13. We need 3 more. And then we said that we're gonna need how much pipe? 34 pipe. And we already have 1 pipe. So we have plenty of steel, I think. Let's go ahead and get... That's 24, and I said we need 34. We are out of steel. I think I took plenty of pipe. I took plenty of steel. So we had queued 24. We have 1 in our inventory. That's... I need 9 more. Yeah. Really hope my math was correct on this. Oh, yes. The last thing that we want to make sure is that we actually give power to all of the steam turbines. So they're gonna be connected over here. And well, these obviously are gonna miss fuel. Covarex enrichment process is gonna be extremely slow. I do want to get logistics system first and then requeue Covarex enrichment. So let's make sure that we connect this to our main grid. And then we're gonna connect it through here somewhere. Oh yeah, that's connected to one of the large power poles. That's perfect. As I was getting ready to start the power plant, I realized that I'm missing something quite important. We do need uranium 238 as well. And I will be crafting all the fuel cells I can get my hands on right now. I will look at expanding that eventually. Now it is gonna take a while for the power plants to come online. Okay, I've put 20 in the other one, so that means I'll have to wait for the final 10 to be ready here. I believe I should be making more than they're gonna consume. It's gonna take a while for everything to go to temperature. But once that happens, I would really like to get rid of... Will that connect? There's no way for me to power this without connecting without having this connection, because what's gonna happen is once the factory is up and running, I will want to completely cut off the power plant from the rest of the factory, but I will want to have just the one connection point, which right now could be that one. So I'm gonna go around the whole factory. I've left my car over there, which is not great, but that should not disconnect anything. I do need to make a connection over here, so I have the bottom part of my factory connected, and I will want to disconnect these ones and connect them here. And this radar will move to my nuclear factory. Now, if by any chance the biters manage to destroy these nuclear reactors, this will be quite bad. So, because they will actually explode and destroy everything in the area. So this has been a bit of a longer episode than usual, but I really wanted to take care of our problem. And this will come online when the temperature reaches 500 degrees. So not much left. So while this whole thing ramps up, let's talk a bit about what's next. So we have stored almost this is a full chest of rocket fuel. This is 300 and 300 units of each. We can now look at building our rocket silo, which is going to be the first thing that we're going to be doing in the next episode. But before we're gonna place down, we actually need to have at least uh, 4 productivity module 3, because this is gonna increase the productivity of the rocket silo by 40% in total, which means that the rocket silo will actually, to launch a rocket will only need 600 of each instead of 1000. And keep in mind that these, especially the rocket control units and low density structures, are very expensive things to craft and reliant on plastic. So next episode we're gonna be looking at getting those productivity modules. I still don't think we're getting any sort of productivity modules all the way up here, but again, that's okay. We can maybe steal a few from here, just enough to craft 4 of those big ones. And our power plants are online, and you can see that right now the steam turbines are actually producing more than the steam engines. Now the game is gonna balance these ones out. So unlike unlike coal power plants, the nuclear power plants always run at full capacity. They always deplete fuel at a constant rate, regardless of the power demand. So having we can have some some more intricate setups using a power switch to only kick in the steam turbine once the nuclear power plant gets overwhelmed, but that's generally not ever gonna be the case. Whenever that happens, we're gonna put down another nuclear power plant. So I'm gonna cut off the power plants, and that all of a sudden became eerily quiet, and no more smoke, no more pollution. And we can see that we can easily sustain the full production of our base, and I think we're very close to capacity even with only these steam turbines. With this very basic setup, we can even look at not scaling this but just duplicating the setup. We have a biter here that got lost. We might, yeah, we're polluting that base. We have to, I'll go push it in between episodes, but this is nuclear power, the basics of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed playing it, and I will see you here next time.